Hello everyone, welcome to the Jewish Week Online. We're here with the Jewish Fun Team at the MJE Young Couples in New York City. What happens when you need to move out in New York City? It's complicated. It's never easy. There's a lot of planning, a lot of research. Let's hear from some community members on what communities have to offer young adults.
A 16-mile drive on the LIE. There's several train lines to access Roslyn. I take a train from an adjacent town. It takes me 27 minutes to get to Penn Station, so it's pretty close. It's relatively easy to commute. Again, to what Rabbi Wild said, there's a lot of school choices. There are 4 or 5 what I call modern Orthodox choices within a 20-minute drive. It's free busing. We also have a Solomon Schechter, and there are other choices that are more yeshivish if you choose. So there's a lot of school choices. We have a lot of restaurants. We have 3 restaurants in Roslyn. Within a 5-minute drive, there's another dozen or so kosher restaurants. There's a lot of Jewish resources. We have the largest JCC in the U.S. outside of Manhattan.
Like Eric and Yvette, my wife Dory and I walked through these doors and found each other, and we've been married for now 4 years, and we moved up to Riverdale 1 month before our first child was born. And one of the things that I really want to do is speak on behalf of a lot of the women who get that nesting instinct, and they look to leave to one of the communities. Riverdale was suggested to us, and I know Rabbi Wilds has a long history with the Riverdale Jewish Center. You were the assistant rabbi there at one point? Is that right? I'll take that. Okay. But I know Riverdale has a community of a lot of MJEers who have gone up there, like my wife and I. But one of the things that was important for my wife, and in choosing Riverdale, was that she would be able to quickly and easily find other women to have friends with and play dates with and play groups with. And it was actually quite surprising to me, because I was nervous that my wife would not be able to assimilate into a community as quickly as she did. And one of the best aspects of Riverdale is really the tight-knit community. There are lots of shuls. There's plenty of kosher restaurants, SARs in Riverdale, which, as you know, is probably one of the preeminent Orthodox Jewish day schools from K to 12. And you can leave your cell phone in New York City on your way home from work and quickly turn back around, because it's a 12 minutes commute to Riverdale. And I'd also want everyone to realize that Riverdale is part of the Bronx, but yet it's a whole area that's quite beautiful in terms of playgrounds, in terms of parks. Riverdale has views of the river depending upon where you live. And I would highlight in closing not only the proximity factor, but the affordability. You could get, if you are willing to live in an apartment, you can get an apartment that in the city would be $1.5 million, $2 million. In Riverdale, it would be about $300,000, $350,000 for a 2-bedroom. Some are less, some are more.
Say on his behalf, Ozzy said, I did not want to leave MJE. Did not want to leave the city. Jessica made me. But tell people what my Sunday morning is, and maybe they'll see why I too was okay with not living in the city. So Ozzy wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning. This is crazy. He walks out onto our balcony and looks at the waves, because we live on the ocean. Our building has 2-bedroom apartments, 1-bedroom studios, there are 3-bedroom apartments. Anyways, moving on from that. He sees, oh wow, waves look really good. He goes downstairs, gets a surfboard. Sometimes the rabbi actually does join him and they surf together. Otherwise, he's surfing with 3 of his friends from shul, with Yaakov, Jeff, and Sam. Then about 8 o'clock, they all look at their surf watches and say, oh, time for davening. So they get on their bikes and run to the Bach, which is very close by. They have 8:30 minyan. Afterwards, about 25 guys hang out. They have a morning breakfast. If it's in the summertime, then they're met by their wife and kids, or just people who come to hang out. We have a program in the summer. There's karate for kids, jump rope, jewelry making. It's about 2-3 months long. Ozzy and I, afterwards, we do everything that everybody else does on a Sunday. You run your errands. The only difference is we run errands on our bikes. Everything in Long Beach is accessible. It's fun. Sometimes I do, food shopping can't be done on your bike, so I do use my car. But everything that we do is just, it's outdoors, it's fun. Long Beach is an active, young community.
It really isn't. But we made the journey. We had no idea where to go. I was in Balchuva. My husband was from DC. We had no idea. We had no idea, like, this New York Jewish scene, where to go. We ended up in White Plains based on some recommendations, based on it's 31 minutes from the city. But we went there for Shabbos, and that was really the key and the turning point for us. And what I found there was a completely comfortable community. Although I didn't know really what I was looking for. But when I walked in the shul and I met the people, and I saw the variety of Jewish observance, that people, including my friends that are here, have family that aren't religious, that some of the families and couples are Baal Tshuva, some aren't, and everybody is friends with everybody else, and you can't tell if somebody's got $1 in their pocket or $1 million in their pocket. You absolutely cannot tell when you walk in the shul. So we made the plunge and we moved there, and I have been out, and I tell people this, my friends have heard me say it, every single day I'm there, I've loved it more and more and more, and I've never had one hesitation. So I think that from a physical perspective, it's a great little town. You might not have heard, White Plains, you don't hear about it when you hear about the Jewish map as much. But Westchester is thriving as a Jewish community, and White Plains has 2 Orthodox, modern Orthodox schools there, and it's growing tremendously. We have new couples moving in literally every week.
Shabbaton and put you up and show you around. There are lots of school choices. Great Neck has North Shore Hebrew Academy right in the neighborhood, and in addition we have Yeshiva Har Torah, which is we have Chabad. We have Yeshiva Har Torah, which is in Little Neck, and then there are all the schools in Queens that are just a short bus ride away. Great Neck provides door-to-door busing. And the commute, since everyone's talking about the commute, the rush hour train is 25 minutes. It's the only Long Island Railroad branch that does not stop at Jamaica. I will be on, full disclosure, the non-rush hour trains take 35 minutes because the train there's a few more stops. But a lot of people work in the city, of course. And we probably have the most kosher food per capita in the world, I would say. No, per capita. The 5 towns probably has more kosher restaurants, but they have a lot more kosher people. Great Neck has a ton of kosher restaurants, not quite as many Orthodox people, partially because we do have a large Persian community and they love to eat, so we have lots of Persian restaurants.
Talking about houses and kids and work, and forget your own sanity and maybe your own spiritual life or whatever you could possibly come in there. It's just ridiculous. So I think finding it's ridiculous. Finding a community, finding a place that supports you is so, so important. And we're all different, so what we need is different. And I've thought about moving 16 times sitting here, but I could just roam. But what I love about West Hempstead, there are a few things, and one is some have more, some have less, and nobody cares. It's not a keeping up with the Joneses kind of place. If somebody wants something, they go get it. If they have it, I don't need it, but I can be happy for them, and they'll still be friends with me if I don't have it. The same is true religiously. Some are a little more observant, some are a little less observant. We all eat in each other's homes. I think we often as parents think about, oh, that's so good for my kids. You know what? It's good for me too. It's good for my own growth and where my head is to have a diverse community. At the same time, we have a huge growing community. So if you're someone who doesn't necessarily want diversity, you want a more homogeneous crowd, you want people like yourself, you can go for it. If you value diversity, if you want different kinds of people, you can do that too. I always marvel at how, depending on who I have for Shabbos lunch company, the conversation is completely different. And I love that. And I love that I can even mix up the groups. I can't tell you how many times my husband said, we're having who and who together, and it always works.
Okay. But again, like Teaneck, I guess if you're looking to go to different communities, you really have to first categorize what type of community do you want to go to. Do you want to go to one that's well established, that's easy? You go in and you find out of 10 different Orthodox schools, or maybe in the 5 towns, 30 different Orthodox schools, a place that has restaurants, a place that has 10 different early childhood centers. With the park, that's Teaneck, that's the 5 towns, that's Great Neck. Or, as I'm listening to so many people who come from smaller communities, which I almost want to move to now, this sounds so amazing. There are places that are smaller, and maybe warmer as a whole. But once you find out which of the general categories you want to go to, then you drill down to the different communities. So Cedarhurst, like Teaneck, is well established. I actually grew up in Cedarhurst. We moved out there. I don't even want to say, because when you categorize it as to like the young couples, middle-aged couples, and senior couples, you know, middle-aged couples is like 40 to 60 almost. It's a little embarrassing. Actually, in that point, but so we've been in Cedarhurst for a long time. I've been in Cedarhurst for a long time, and it was wonderful then, and it's even more wonderful now. So many different choices. It's easy if you're looking for a place to fit in, where you don't want to be a pioneer, where you can find a minyan every 15 minutes in the morning, at night up until midnight. If you want to find shiurim, if you want to find mixed shiurim, if you want to find shiurim for just women, if you want to go to a gym that's mixed or a gym that has only women, if you want to find anything you want, it's there.
See, there are a lot of communities that offer a lot to young couples looking to move out of New York City. This is Aaron Herman. Thanks for watching.